Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft episode. Today we are going to work our way towards getting the portal to Alfheim from Botania. We've got a few extra bits and pieces we're going to need to do for that. First of all is making this agglomeration plate. You guys might have seen this before. It's just some blocks of lapis with living rock. You do need this plate, however. In the expert pack, it's pretty nasty to make. We're going to need a bunch of runes. I don't know if we'll get it all done this time around, but we'll see how we go for time. One of the things I have been working on is I've moved all of my crystal cluster stuff over to here, and that is so that it's in the same chunk as where we kill stuff, which may or may not help. It did help a little bit with one of these clusters actually grew out a couple of extra bits. So in the past when I've done this, it's just had a single spike sticking out of it, but if you leave it there for long enough, enough will in the aura in the chunk will actually make some extra crystals. So I thought I'd move it to here just to see if it made a difference. So who knows, it seems to, but it might be a very, very tiny effect. There is a way to improve that, which is why I've made this space over here, but that'll come a little bit later when I do want to maybe try and automate this, automate the different sorts of crystal. So I might need, well, I'll need another demon crystallizer because there's 5 sorts. Anyway, aside from that, to make these particular things, self-sacrifice, we need this destructive will. This one here needs, well, it doesn't need any of the will, but it needs a few other interesting things. The rune of sacrifice needs these vengeful will clusters, which needs a bunch of extra will. So what I've done is I've already pre-made these common Tartaric gems that have the different sorts of will in them. Now this is where it gets tricky, because to get the different sorts of will, you need 2 crystals of each one. So what you're going to need to do is, and I'm kind of a bit annoyed I didn't manage to do this on camera, so you can see I have got some vengeful and some steadfast. I don't have any of the others, so maybe what we should do is make some of the others. Corrosive, vengeful, destructive I think is the one we need. So the interesting thing is, if this crystal was empty and we just had our sentient sword and we right clicked with it, nothing would happen. But because we've got some will in there, 500 actually, I can right click and now all of a sudden this sword is set to harvest that sort of will. So if we turn our spawner on, hopefully some stuff will spawn. It's been getting slower and slower again. I'm gonna have to check my settings. So what have we got? We've got 521, kill something, 548. So you can see it's going up pretty well, which is nice. And then what we can also do with this is we can put that in there, and this should spawn, there we go, exactly the right sort of crystal that we need. Now, what I've done is I've left this at times to leave these crystals on here so that they try and grow another one, and they won't. It seems that you can only get more aura to grow these clusters bigger using either a ritual or killing things, which is why I sort of think that having them in this chunk does help. Now, the other reason that you need to get 2 of these will crystals is if we take that out of there, what we can do, so see this is 197. We're just got to wait for these to grow. So when you start off making each one of these to be a different sort of will type, I said you need 2 different crystals, or two crystals are the same. One to turn the gem the right sort, and then the other one is so that when you go here and throw this in, you can see that 198.94. If I throw this, one of those in there, and then go back here, there we go, 248.94. So it gives you an extra 50 will. So what you can do is you can use that to get this from 0 up to 50, which will then change your sword type so that you can then get more and more and more of these crystals, and that helps you, get on your way to getting more of these destructive will, or whichever type you need. So that's how I made those 4 different types over there. Of course, it does take a while to get the 2 sorts you need, or the 2 of each sort that you need. In fact, it took me quite a long time to do that. In fact, you've basically got to use these ones in order to hope that there's a spawn of the right sort of crystal. Now, the other interesting thing to know is if you've got one of these in here and one of these in here, and you click with the sword or fight or even right click anywhere, it'll take the one with the most amount of will. So that's why I sort of need to have these out. Make sure you've only got the one of the sort that you want. if you're going to be steadfast. I've managed to take that. So that has been the intro to crystal clusters and different sorts of will. Now that, yeah, see, now we go, that one is now empty. But because we're already set to the right sort, we just got to be careful we don't click anywhere. Because if I click in free space now while this is empty, it'll actually revert this back to the normal sort. And that's not what we'll try it. There we go. See how it's reverted it straight back? Now that's not what we want. So we need to put this back in here. And we need to put another one of these back in there. And then grab this with some out. I actually got 100 that time, so maybe there was some extra left in the aura. In fact, there probably was. It needs 100 to make a crystal, and there must have been some already left in. And now when I right click, of course, I go back to that sort. So you've got to be very, very careful. That's why I've sort of got those down there with 500 in them each, so that I can have a bunch of spare will crystals around, just in case I accidentally turn my sword the wrong way. So that's that. You might have also noticed the place has had a little bit of a facelift. One of the other people on the server who has actually been a long time watcher, Cat Battery, she's been sprucing up the base somewhat, making things pretty. So it's a work in progress. The roof's been stripped out of most of this, and we are getting there. Well, Cat's getting there actually, getting this sorted. So it is looking a lot nicer. Anyway, the other thing that's happened is I've made myself a molecular transformer finally, and that is very, very slowly making another star out of some holmium dust. And there's another bit of complicated power here, which essentially is using the same redstone signal from this, so that any surplus power is pumped into there. So I'm only using surplus power for this. I'm not using main power. And that's also coming from up there, which is some mechanism, wind turbines, wind generators. I don't know. I was going to make an episode on them, but then I thought, you know what? These are really, really easy to make, and you guys can probably figure it out. They seem to make about 100 RF per tick up at height 100-ish. I think they'll make more if I put them higher, but for now, on top of the mountain, they make enough power. Anyway, I have been waffling on quite a bit already this episode. So what were we making? The agglomeration plate. So I am going to race away. I will make all these things. None of these are too difficult. Probably the hardest one was this one. Dreadstone, refined corellium blank, imbued slate. That there. Tomback was pretty easy. Green gold. Empty void tier. Yeah, we need a gas tier and slime pearl. I think that might be the only thing I'm missing. Yeah, so I don't have the void tier, but I do have a gas tier. So I've got 3 of them, and I have made the other bits of this. Oops. Except for the void tier. Now, the reason I haven't made all of these is because of that slime pearl. I've only got 2 of them. Now, I'm gonna make this one because I do want to make one of these. Oh, I've nearly got it all too. Wow. So just the imbued slate with tier 3. So anyway, I'll run away. I'll make the rest of these other things. None of these things are too hard. They're all just sort of standard runes, standard things. Yeah, fishing rod, sugar. Yeah, nothing is crazy. In fact, I've made a bunch of these before. Demon crystallizer I've definitely made before. So I'll make all these. We'll get ourselves an agglomeration plate, and that will be one step closer to getting the portal to Alfheim. With one more little bit after that, I believe, but we'll see when we get there. Anyway, I will see you back here in just a bit. So I'm back, and I have my agglomeration plate already made, and now I'm just making some sparks, because they will be the best way to get mana across. So I'm making a bunch of arcane ashes first. Actually, I probably only want to pity these things don't stack. That many. Cool. And then so we just throw all that stuff back. Where are we? Spark. Ta-da. Now we don't want the white because I've only ever got one white petal left. Let's grab something we've got the most of. Another spark. Huzzah! Cool. So now we can throw our plate down over there. Throw a spark on there. Throw it on. I don't know. This one maybe? There we go. Those are allegedly all linked. Let's see how we go. We need some iron. Let's go for 16 because that is how many pearls we get in a stack. And I don't really want to use up any more diamonds than I have to just yet. Okay, so that one's got the spark on it. Let's throw those in there. Those in there. Those in there. Wow, that used up a bit. Now what we need to do is go throw, 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 and get the heck out of the way. And wow, this does take a long time. So Terrasteel is the name of the game for this. And wow, it really is going to take a long time to make all the Terrasteel I need. But wahoo, we have our first Terrasteel. Cool, now the reason we... Whoa, and takes quite a bit of mana as well. So we're going to have to make sure that we are recharging all of that. Sheesh. Maybe I should use the other pool. Yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Unless I can put a third spark. I might try putting a third spark on there and see if they both link to there. I can't remember if sparks are 1-to-1 or not. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to look at was nothing that's in there, unfortunately. So that Terrasteel takes quite a while to make, so I'll make that off camera pretty shortly. But for now, I need this. So the thing that we're actually trying to make, let me just grab the Botania. We are trying to make the, is it under P? The portal to Alfheim. So this is what we need. So we need 8 living wood blocks. We've already made living wood. That's easy. Now the glimmering liverwood and the elven gateway core are the ones that are going to be interesting. Mana pools and natura pylons we're going to need. So this is what the recipe looks like normally. But as we know, we are playing hard edition. So we need to have the elven gateway core from here, which is significantly harder. Living wood, really easy. We've just made our first Terrasteel. Ambrosia, nice and easy since we've already got royal jelly and honeydew. Wax capsule, not a problem either. These things though, the otherworld blocks. Now, we made some otherworld leaves, or we got some otherworld leaves as drops from Sprites. The otherworld essence, however, a little bit of a different story. So if we go across to here, so lesser sprites, what we did, common sprites, I believe these ones are the ones that drop the next item we need. So it looks like we're going to need a pearl, an otherworld leaf, and a glowstone dust, as well as this here, which means we need a lesser sprite hanging around as well. So 6 incenses. Wow, a different flower. Okay, so we're going to need another 2 incense burners as well. And it has to be inside here, so we're going to have to put another couple of incense burners in, maybe just in the corners will do. Interesting. Now there is something we can do to help. There was something in here. I think it's a spirit font. Allows you to keep sprites together for long periods of time. It'll gather energy from its environment, then release it to sprites to keep them comfortable. So hang out in the front waiting for more. So we need to make one of these, water and plants. Oh, there's a lot of water. So, okay, we might not do this one this time. We might just try and summon. Yeah, we'll see how we go. This is the other bit of this episode that I wasn't sure we were going to be able to get to or not. But I will give it an attempt. So, as we saw there, this is what we really need to make. And we do need it to be around water. It says you need to... likely not need to exceed 10 blocks of water. So we could probably do that. That's sort of like a 3x3. Yeah, we should have room up there actually. So what I might do Just check it out here first. Make sure it's not any harder. No, it's actually the same. Wow. So those are just any vine, any leaves, otherwood leaf, and runestone bricks. So we can actually make one of those. So what I might do is I'll make one of those. I'll make a bunch more Terrasteel, and I'll come back, and then we should be able to summon the lesser sprite like we did before. It'll go towards the font, this thing, and then we can summon the next level up, which will give us the otherworld essence, hopefully. Anyway, I'll see you back here in just a bit. So I learnt a couple of things while I was away. One of them is that we do actually need to do the second level up of this. So with that in mind, I've done this. We now have 3 of these spirit fonts around a bunch of water, and I've thrown some flowers around. They seem to be doing something, but we'll see in a second. The other thing I discovered is if I put more of these pools around and put a spark on each one, something you guys probably knew already, I can put 3 on there, and this is much faster. So it seems to be just a mana transfer problem. Yeah. No, not quite. No, not quite. No, I seem to be getting that all wrong. Anyway, what we're going to do, it's amazing I haven't missed that many times in a row any other time off camera. As you've probably guessed, a lot of time has passed in the real world as well, given that these 4 pools are now fairly full. What we're going to need though is we're going to need a bunch of these. Pink. Red. Now to do the top level we need 8 of these. Yellow. Orange, yes. Blue. And I'm just arbitrarily choosing 5 of these. And poppy. Cool, so what we're going to have to do, we're going to need this one. Now, this one here, we're going to need 2 lesser sprites and 1 of the next level up, which means we're going to need to do 3 lessers all up and 1 common. Lesser, we're going to need 4. So ender, redstone, and glowstone. Let's just make sure we have all our ingredients. I'm hoping to summon everything all at once. So what we're going to do is redstone. Actually, I'm going to try and do the common one first, because I don't know if the lesser one is consumed or not. So let's just make sure we have our flint and steel. I'm going to be juggling backpack room like crazy for this one. So we need another ender pearl, otherworld leaf, and glowstone. This one needs ender pearl. Okay. So let's just grab a bunch of those and a bunch of those. And we're going to need a bunch of those anyway, so why not? Probably not that many. And otherworld leaf. Let's grab some of those as well. Wow, we are really running out of room here. I'm going to try this again. There we go. That'll at least free up some space. Awesome. Now I decided to keep going on this episode, even though it is going to get rather large. Yeah, we'll see how we go anyway. But we'll definitely be finishing at the end of this one. So we need 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and light it, light it, light it, light it. And now we need 1 there, 1 there, and that one. Oh, and then we need an empty hand. Now, with a bit of luck, this will summon our lesser one, and he'll get attracted over to these. I hope these are close enough for the other rituals as well. Come on, where is he? There he is. Okay, so he's just going to cruise around. Yep, he's been summoned back to that. That's awesome. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get another couple of flowers, namely that one and that one, and then light it, and then go for glowstone, otherworld, and one of those. And is it going to use that guy up or not? Ooh, appears to have worked. Hey, there he is. Wow. Cool, so it didn't use it up. That means we need to do one more. That one, that one, that one. No valid ritual. Ah. Wow, so you actually have to turn off the other incenses. Now, while that's summoning, I didn't actually look at what we need for the nasty one. Ah, blaze powder. Blaze powder, blaze powder. Let's just grab a couple of those. Awesome, so they're now flying around quite happily. So we've got the blue one, we've got that one, that one, that one. We need that one and that one. So these going in the corners. Looks like they're all gone out again. Okay, so we're going to start from scratch with 8 of these. Where's the other flower? There we go. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. They are all in there. And then we're going to go for, make sure we have an empty hand. Now, light, 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 light. One of those, one of those, one of those, empty hand. Wow. And it has worked. Now we're going to need something to kill the guy with. Wahoo. And here we go. What a super weapon. Now we've got a lot of those, but we didn't get anything. It's annoying. Let's try it again. Because it doesn't use the other ones up, we can get another one out of it. Excellent. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to grab more blaze powder. Now, this is not really giving me what I want, unfortunately. We're getting a lot of runestones, which is kind of cool. And we're going to do this a few times. Those pedestals are working really well, though. Those 3 guys are not going anywhere. So what I might do, let's try with a different weapon. Wow, and that weapon... it gave us some more, but still not what we are after. Alright, I am actually going to cut this here and figure out what I'm going to do and see what we need to do to get this next bit of stuff that we need. Although, what was that? Charm of Evocation. That's kind of cool. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's just kill that one. What did he drop? Nope, still nothing. Alright, I'll be back in just a bit and I'll let you know what I find with how to get this other piece that we need. So, see you in a sec. Alrighty, one last time, and as you can see in front of us, there are a lot of these things flying around. So I've upgraded this. We now have 8 of these pedestals. We have 4 of the lesser ones, 2 of the common ones, and 2 of the greater ones. The reason being, I discovered in the book, that's not the end. This one down here is the end, Guardian of the Sprites, and this one's going to be nasty. So we're going to need 12 different flowers, diamond, a leaf, and one of my only 2 ghast tears remaining. And look at this, we need 4 lessers, 2 commons, and 2 greaters. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will work. So I need to re-put all of my flowers in. I've got all my ingredients lined up. I'm trying some mystical flowers because I don't know what else to use. After I use these 9 up, it's a bit kind of crazy. So left to right, top to bottom. That one, 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 and the last 3 will be that one, the blue one, and the azure bluet. And we'll put that in there, and these across the bottom, that one. Oh, that didn't go in. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we'll just make sure they're all in there. We can see flowers in all of them. You can just see the yellow ones pretty tiny in there. Alrighty. Light, 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 and light. Okay, one of those, one of those, one of those. Open hand, go. Oh, and we need our weapon. I am hoping that I am going to be strong enough for this. It's apparently pretty nasty. I should have eaten beforehand. Too late now. Oh, he's a boss. Hey, here he comes. Whoa! Let's turn... Woof! Where'd he go? There he goes. Woof! Wow! That's pretty nasty. Well, pretty nasty. Come on, let's go over here. Let's get out my... Come on. I really do want to do this one on camera. Where did he go? Is he taken off? Ah, wow. That's kind of annoying. He's just kind of taken off somewhere. Not attracted to any of these at all. We've still got all of these left, so I could get another one. But that is nasty. That is really nasty. And there's the danger that this guy is actually still flying around somewhere in the world. Yeah, who knows? I definitely do not travel fast enough in this form. Well, in this, in the air, unfortunately. Alright, but you get the idea. He's pretty horrible. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do for him. Maybe get some slightly better armor and get myself back together. I am not entirely sure if I will do that on camera. I will try to start the next episode with that on camera, but I just feel like this episode has run long enough. Plus, I'm going to have to spend a bit of time farming some more ghast tears, because if I'm going to die again, that's my last ghast tear gone, and yeah, that's not going to be very fun. So I will wrap this episode up here, and next time maybe we'll be able to summon another one of these big guys and start the episode at least by killing him and getting that thing that we need. We only need one of them, so it should be doable. So anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.